encourage everybody to find their tribe. So don't keep other coaches at arm's length. Whatever business you're in, don't keep those who are doing similar work at arm's length. I think that's a mistake we all make, because there is something special and magical when you get to the brain share of people who are facing similar challenges and applying similar skills, but in different arenas. You can learn and be better together.
Welcome to Career Coaching Secrets, the podcast where we talk with successful career coaches on how they built their success and the hard lessons they learned along the way. My name is Davis Nguyen, and I'm the founder of Purple Circle, where we help career coaches scale their business to 7 and 8 figures without burning out. Before Purple Circle, I started and scaled several 7 and 8 figure career coaching businesses myself and consulted with 2 career coaching businesses that are now doing over $100 million each. Whether you're an established coach or just building your practice for the first time, you'll discover the secrets to elevating your coaching business.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Career Coaching Secrets podcast. Today's guest is Morag Barrett, an executive coach, keynote speaker, and the best-selling author of You, Me, We, and Cultivate. As the founder of SkyeTeam, Morag has spent decades helping leaders and teams thrive through the power of relationship intelligence. From boardroom to break room, she teaches that business's success isn't just about the strategy, it's about connection. And it's a pleasure for me to have you on the podcast today. Welcome to the show, Morag.
Thank you, Regin. I'm looking forward to the conversation.
Morag, tell me a little bit more about what inspired you to become a coach.
See, that's an interesting question, because I don't know that anyone, I certainly don't think I was inspired to become a coach. I mean, if I think back to when I was a wee girl, my dream was to be a long distance truck driver because I thought I'd get to see the world. And I have got to see the world through my work as an executive coach and leadership development. I've been to North Slope, Alaska, beyond the Arctic Circle. I've been down to Chile and Peru. I've worked with more than 15,000 leaders from 20 countries, all wrestling with how do I get my team to care as much about our success as I do. So was I inspired to become a coach? No, but my career journey has brought me to this point where it is one of the many arrows in my quiver.
So it's been many years right now. Can you tell me about the journey from the moment that you started your coaching business to where you are at today? Based on LinkedIn, I could see that it started back in 2007.
Ooh, well, a little bit beyond that. So you're delightful for thinking that it was just 2007. So I'll give you the backup story, because I think the backup story helps understand what makes me different from other coaches and the unique perspective that I bring. So for those listening and watching, you'll have gathered I have the hint of an accent. So I grew up, my original early life and career was in the UK, in England. And I was going to be an engineer, but it ended up being a finance leader working for one of the largest banks in the UK for more than 15 years. So I know my way around numbers. I love math, or I did love math, in that there is an art and science, a poetry, a right answer. But I can work my way through a cash flow forecast, balance sheet, profit and loss. And I was lending millions of pounds to leaders in different companies, different stages of their life cycle, all of whom were convinced we're going to be rich. I've got this great idea, this widget product service that we're going to provide. But what I learned in that 15-year career was that the numbers are only half the equation. Because if it was as easy as the cash flow forecast predicted, then let's face it, we'd all be rich and we'd all be able to balance our checkbooks. So what's missing? So what was missing was the human side of the equation, who we are and how we relate. Because invariably when those businesses didn't achieve their goals, there was a misalignment around roles and responsibilities, communication and definition of success wasn't clear. And that is where my career first pivoted into leadership and executive development. And so one of the facets and skills that I bring, in addition to the leadership academies and the programs that I design and run, it's the one-to-one work as an executive coach. And so I only really realized that that was a title and a skill set probably midway through my second corporate career, working for an American company, which is how I ended up here in Colorado and has been home since 2005, but since 2007 when I launched SkyeTeam. And so to deepen that expertise and my skill set, that's when I formally became an executive coach by completing executive coach training and continuing over the years since to refine my approach, and in partnership with my clients, but also in partnership with other coaches in my network.
And who do you typically work with? Is there a specific industry or a specific demographic that you have as a target audience at your own company?
So it's interesting. I don't have a target audience, but I have an audience that seems to target me. And so when I look at the clients of SkyeTeam and the leaders that I've worked with, majority of them are in IT, technology, engineering. So highly educated leaders working in complex environments. And what I'm bringing is a healthy curiosity, my engineering and finance brain, to understanding puzzles and how things work, understanding their particular business, but also then coupled with a deep expertise in how business gets done, specifically the relationships, the professional relationships, whether that's within a team or across an organization or across an industry.
Mm-hmm. And where would you go about finding your clients? What marketing channel is working for SkyeTeam right now?
Oh, down the back of the sofa. Wouldn't that be lovely if you could just go and find them? So most of my clients find me either because I'm an active poster and I'm on LinkedIn every single day. I write LinkedIn newsletters and articles all designed to help leaders wherever they are in their career journey to be successful. And then because my career is old enough to have children of its own, let alone to drink, I also have graduates from past programs who've stayed connected. And so it's referrals is my primary source of coaching and leadership clients, and also returners, alumni from those who've worked with me at earlier stages in their careers.
Mm-hmm. So LinkedIn and referrals, which is the majority.
Mm-hmm.
LinkedIn, apart from posting, which I could obviously see you're very active, do you have any specific strategy apart from just giving value throughout your posts?
I think you've nailed it. It's giving value. So it's taking an unexpected perspective, maybe on hot topics that may be trending at the moment, but more it's about having a conversation. And therefore, I'm picturing the leaders that I'm working with. I'm remembering the challenges and the frustrations I experienced when I was still in a corporate role. Now, some of those experiences and frustrations still exist, even as an entrepreneur in my own business. But that helps me to talk with authenticity and not just provide models and frameworks and grand ideas, but make sure that they are pragmatic tools and steps that leaders can then either adopt or adapt, or, you know what, ignore and do your own thing. You do you. But the key here is the goal is, to your point, of being of service and helping everybody to be a little bit better today than they were yesterday.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And moving away from marketing, I wanted to learn, do you have any specific goals that you're working towards for the next 1 to 3 years with SkyeTeam?
Oh, many. If there's one thing my team will tell you is that I'm never short of goals and ideas. And in fact, the thing that I am learning to develop is focus. So you mentioned earlier on that I'm the author of You, Me, We. I'm reaching to get them because why not? So You, Me, We, Why We All Need a Friend at Work and How to Show Up as One. I wrote with my best friends at work, Eric and Ruby. And this is the sister book to my first book, to which I just launched the second edition, Cultivate, The Power of Winning Relationships. And both of these talk about the fact that success in business is about relationships and success in life is about connection. But most of us, through our school year and our early career, are really fine-tuned in the art of the solo performance, not the team performance. And we aren't really coached on how to have the conversations that make sure that you and I are aligned on what we're going to do and how we're going to do it together, and what does success look like, and how are we going to hold each other accountable if we're letting standards slip. And so that's where these two books come in, and the work that I do with the leaders is helping them to navigate the biggest bugbear in most careers, which is the words and actions of our colleagues, but also recognizing the words and actions that we bring impact those folks too.
When it comes to these books, you mentioned that Cultivate is now a remake version. So you had a different version before that. Cool. And I can see, like, I really like the design of them.
It's so pretty. I mean, they're eye-catching. They're even better when you get past the cover and read the inside. But here's the thing. I wrote Cultivate. It came out in about 2012. And that was a result of, I was giving keynotes and talks at corporate events on the concept of who are you dependent on for your success, and what can you do to ensure that you have allies, those people who have your back, not just when you're in the room and when it's easy, but the people who'll roll up their sleeves and look out for you when invariably our projects go off the rails or we're missing deadlines. And in its time, it has continued to have a huge impact. But of course, the pandemic had a big impact on how we show up as coaches and how we work, because we're doing so much more of it here through the camera. So in the second edition, we have a new chapter specifically about the pandemic impact. I've updated the research and rewritten a couple of chapters based on the 10 years of experience that has happened since it first came out. So when you asked earlier about what are goals, the goals are, now that these have been birthed and are out in the world, it is now then revisiting the keynotes and having that impact and bringing it to a broader audience, because I'm on a mission to create a culture of connection in a world that is increasingly disconnected.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And for anyone who wants to find these books, I want to make sure that I also link them to our podcast description. And Morag, you can send that to me also on email.
Will do.
Potentially be able to find them also myself. I will put them also in the description for anyone who wants to take a look at these books. I also wanted to ask you, throughout many years of experience with SkyeTeam, when it comes to investments, what coaching programs, masterminds, communities, or any type of investment have you seen to be most valuable in you growing the coaching business?
So I think I encourage everybody to find their tribe. So don't keep other coaches at arm's length. Whatever business you're in, don't keep those who are doing similar work at arm's length. I think that's a mistake we all make, because there is something special and magical when you get to the brain share of people who are facing similar challenges and applying similar skills, but in different arenas. You can learn and be better together. So for me personally, I had the opportunity to join a group called 100 Coaches. And this was the brainchild of Dr. Marshall Goldsmith, who is one of the, or he is the, not one of the, he is the world's #1 executive coach. And this was part of his legacy Pay It Forward program, where he handpicked a number of coaches from different backgrounds and expertise to come together in a way to learn and increase our impact. And so that has been transformational, because it's opened my eyes. It's inspired me to think bigger and bolder, but also the humility and the generosity that we have shown to each other. I was in Washington, D.C. only last week, and there were 30 of us who got together. It was just fabulous. And so that energy, especially if you are still in the early stages of growing your coaching practice, finding the people who can celebrate with you as you close those new clients and you're delivering impact, but also commiserate with you if you're experiencing some downtime and a lull between coaching clients. That's what's going to make the difference between being a short-term coach and longevity. My business is now 18 years old and continuing to go great strides.
And when it comes to 100 coaches, I just wanted to expand just a little bit on that. Is that like a closed kind of community? There's 100, there cannot be a 101 there?
So it's called 100. There's about 400 of us, but it is a closed community, yes. But that doesn't mean that you can't do the same either. Through the coaching program that you went through, there will be graduates. Stay in touch. As you're listening to podcasts like this, reach out to me and connect with me on LinkedIn. It's me that responds, and it's me that you're going to start building that relationship with. So you're not on your own. There is always somebody who is ready to walk with you. There are plenty of people who are going to try and ride your coattails, but be selective. Who are the people who fill you up, who energize, inspire you, and maybe slightly intimidate you? The first time I met some of my 100 coaches colleagues, it was like, my goodness, how many books? Who do you work with? And then there's little me. But now what I've realized is we all have value to bring and an important message to share. Don't hide your light. Step into it, because the world needs the work that you and that we are doing.
And since we're getting a little bit vulnerable here, I wanted to ask you, what are some of the biggest challenges you're currently facing in scaling your coaching business?
Well, other than there is only me, myself, and I, so I do have a wait list of leaders who are wanting to work with me, and that is fabulous. I mean, I am honored that they are willing to do that, but I also then need to be thinking about how and where I can show up, but also how I can then nurture and coach other coaches who can also work with those leaders in a great way. So the challenges, I mean, they remain the same. 18 years in business, it's still about how do we bring a high quality experience? What's happening in the market? Think about AI and artificial intelligence. How is that impacting not just the coaching, but the accessibility of coaching? Because you can ask me, you can ask ChatGPT. Now, ChatGPT knows everything on the internet that it can get its little bits and bytes on. I know my years of experience, they're different sized pools. But what I bring, obviously, is that human perspective. And that AI, it's not just impacting the industry of coaching, it's also impacting the world of work that the leaders I am coaching are having to navigate. So staying abreast, that's the challenge, staying abreast of current world context, staying abreast of new technology, and deep diving and understanding the unique context of the leaders that I'm supporting. Those are the challenges that I revel, but those are the ones that I'm working on.
And I feel like those are some of the challenges that a lot of coaches are focused on, especially with AI now. I wanted to ask you, since you mentioned this a little bit, is capacity also an issue, or do you feel like right now you have a team that you don't have capacity issues anymore? Do you have also a team of coaches, or are you the main coach that people?
Oh, so yes, I do have a team of coaches. So Eric and Ruby. So SkyeTeam, there are 3 of us who are client facing, and Jose on our team is actually just starting his own coach training program as we speak, and he's going to be an amazing coach. But we also then work with other coaches as we have larger programs, or if I'm not the right fit for a leader, I will certainly refer leaders to other coaches as appropriate. So the upside of that is that we're never alone. We're sharing the learning and sharing the experience and having a lot more fun as a result, I think, than just being a solopreneur as I was 18 years ago.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Morag. Is there any final advice you'd like to give to other executive coaches who are looking to scale their impact?
One conversation and one relationship at a time. I have certainly seen other coaching practices who've scaled fast and then as a result burnt out because they're unable to sustain that pace. So find your trusted partners and think about the type of organization and the type of coaching practice you want to build. Make sure it fits your needs, not just the needs and demands of your clients too, because this needs to support you in your whole life.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Morag. And it's been a pleasure having you on the podcast today. For anyone who wants to find you or connect with you, they can find you on your LinkedIn at Morag Barrett. And they could also find you on the website SkyeTeam.com. And is there any other way people could connect with you?
So SkyeTeam, SKYE team.com, named for the Isle of Skye on the west coast of Scotland. Those are the two primary places to find me. And as I said, my two books, Cultivate the Power of Winning Relationships and You, Me, We, Why We All Need a Friend at Work and How to Show Up as One, they are available from your favorite book retailer, either in print, in Kindle form and or audio. And it is Eric, Ruby, and I who narrate them. So you get to listen to this accent as you listen to the book.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Morag.
That's it for this episode of Career Coaching Secrets. If you enjoyed this conversation, you can subscribe to YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you're listening to this episode to catch future episodes. This conversation was brought to you by Purple Circle, where we help career coaches scale their business to 7 and 8 figures without burning out. To learn more about Purple Circle, our community, and how we can help you grow your business, visit joinpurplecircle.com.